Introduce yourself.
Hi, y'all. I'm Gina Volova. I am living in North Carolina. I am obviously a reseller, and I'm very excited to be on Wade's show.
That is amazing. I'm trying to think. Oh, wait, I had the last show yesterday was from amazing resellers from Florida. So you're from New York, right? And
I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. I apologize. So I'm getting a lot of East Coasters, actually. It's interesting. So I appreciate you joining Wade's Ventures. Guys, the reason for this is to get amazing resellers that have never been on live or are not Insta and YouTube famous to be on this channel, because I want to highlight amazing people that nobody has talked about or heard about. And Gina has always been on my YouTube, Instagram, commenting, and I think it's only fair that we get this amazing reseller on. So I've got some really good questions to ask. But until then, kind of give us a little background about you. Like, how did you get started on eBay? That sort of thing. Give us a little background.
Well, as I am approaching 50, I have a 17-year-old son, and guess what my son has always done? Played sports. So I started eBay back in 2011 with what else but cleats. Love our cleats. And at that point, it was because mom here was tired of spending over $100 every season. So I said, let me think about this. What can I do with the cleats that look brand new? I looked on eBay, and guess what? I sold those suckers. So after that, I kind of did eBay just a little bit for a couple of years. I decided last year in January that I would go at it pretty tough for part-time. So I'm just part-time, but I go at it as tough as I can.
It's amazing. I'm part-time too. I'm thinking about going full-time. And eBay is amazing. Like and all the platforms are really cool. But the fact that you can make money in your sweats at home, I think is really cool.
Definitely.
So let's get into this. Let's get into my questions here, and then we'll get into the haul video, guys. So kind of answers it. You're part-time, but tell me a little bit about your situation. Are you possibly looking to go full-time? Would you go full-time? Because a lot of people love their jobs and they do eBay on the side.
Oh no. I can tell everybody, please, in your world, don't ever become a property manager. I definitely have I have a tough couple properties that I manage. I've been in property management for over 30 years. I would love at some point to go full-time. To kind of give you an idea, I'm at a job that has no benefits. I'm full-time, I'm salaried. So I'm on call 24 hours a day. So realistically, what is the difference? Because that's what every reseller's problem is insurance. To me, then there's no difference for me. I don't have insurance with eBay. I don't have insurance with a full-time job. So that's why I'm only kind of staying at my job truly to fill out the FAFSA form for my son to go to college. And then after that, I'm going to make a switch.
I think that's amazing. And there is opportunities, and everybody knows that I have a corporate job, right? And it was funny. I was kind of telling the story a little bit, but I kind of felt when I was sitting there that maybe 2 years ago that I would actually retire from this job. I've been there 9 years. I love it. 401k, all that goodness. But then I realized that quickly when I started reselling and the flexibility and the fact that you can kind of do what you want, set your own hours, work as hard as you want. And I think what it came down to for me was I was sitting there and I was realizing more and more that I wanted to sell online, that I didn't want to be working there in that cubicle anymore. And now that I'll be going full time, it's a super exciting but scary experience. And I recommend everybody, if you're not happy with your situation, like work hard at eBay, because it definitely is structured now to be a full-time gig, and it's just amazing. So I really commend you on that. I think that's going to be amazing. I hope you go full-time, and like you said, the no insurance, there's no reason at this point.
Right. Yeah, I think that's everybody's biggest hang up. I see that as the most question asked on any platform is the insurance. Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, you figure it out. I mean, that's kind of how you have to do it. You have to get your own private insurance. It's Obamacare now. It'll switch eventually to something else, but it's still just private insurance. You just got to pay for it.
Yep. And I'm actually, so I'm blessed. I can have the kids under Ashley. But in some circumstances, I'm going to probably have to get my own insurance too. So I'm right there with you, and I'll kind of give you some ideas of insurances that I'm using. So when you're ready to take the leap, maybe you can get
and
one.
maybe cheaper. I'm looking, than what it is now.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So I had this question. I asked this question. Every single question is the same. And the reason I do this is for consistency, but every question is different when I ask it. And Gina, so you told me what state you live in, right? So what's around you to thrift at? Like, what are you thrifting at daily?
Okay. So obviously I don't quite go sourcing daily. My big thing is Saturday. Saturday is my day. I am near Greensboro, North Carolina, which they just opened up less than a year ago. Our bins, our Goodwill outlet. It's very small. You would kind of go, oh my gosh, is this really a bins? They are not the deep ones. They are the more shallow. There are no hard goods. That's the part I don't like. It's all clothing. So, and I go and source there about once a month. I am close to what's called Tabitha's Closet, which is a nonprofit that helps women who have had different circumstances. They have dollar days. Love that. Yard sale season will be starting soon. Love yard sale season. And then I just kind of stock up here and there. Yes, I do go to Goodwills and Salvation Army, but we don't have the deals that you guys in the rest of the country have. There are no color tag days. There's no dollar days. There's no 50% off. There's none of that. Not in this area. So it's either you pay the price, which is still pretty good, or you just go to the bins, or you find any thrift store that does the dollar.
You're amazing, because at the end of the day, there's areas that are easier and there's areas that are harder. And I feel like it's probably made you a better thrifter because you have to be more picky, because you just don't have the areas or the thrift stores or the different I guess the one thing that you do have is yard sales or garage sales, right? I mean, so you can kind of stock up during the summertime,
Wow.
But it probably makes you a better thrifter if it's a little bit harder to get merchandise.
Right. Well, after certainly watching, obviously your show and other shows, it's fun to watch Rally Roots and see what they get at the garage sale. So that does help. I had kind of forgotten about the little mini iPods that now I'll be looking for this summer. So I listen to what everybody says, and I try my best to remember everything. So when I go out, and just try to realize that what I don't have here, I'm not Denver. I'm not going to pick up Patagonia and Lululemon every day. I'm not Oregon, where, my gosh, y'all are overabundant in Nike. It's just not going to be here. So you just have to learn what's in your area like everybody else and just do the best you can.
Yep. And I think, like, I don't know how Gov Deals and liquidation sites are there, like, locally, but like I would try Gov Deals too. I had some really good success with them, and I was actually on their site today. Have you ever tried govdeals.com?
No.
Yeah.
But I'll look into that. Just as, you and the storage units, of course, piqued my interest all those months ago, Wade, and I'm still teetering. I'm like, I was already on the Storage Treasure sites, and I do look a lot. It's kind of sporadic here on Greensboro. Is huge, so it's very sporadic on what's out there. Doing them online versus in person, I still kind of want to go in person. I just want to see, because it's not going to be like Storage Wars here. It's not going to be like that. Not here. No. So, but I do look online and I do see what the ones go for. It reminds me of Let's Make a Deal, of what's behind those boxes. What's behind the boxes, what's in the boxes. So just as your mom did that one the other day, and your mom was guessing every single thing, and you're like, how do you know what's in there? That was funny. I have to admit, even though you couldn't see the chat or anything, which was fine, and I didn't put anything in there, I just thought that was amazing that your mom was pretty much guessing almost what was in the boxes, and lots of Christmas stuff.
She did amazing at guessing. I was like, what are you, what, were you in here before me? Like, how did that work out? And that was, storage units are amazing. Like, all you guys know, I did videos on storage units. You can look at it on YouTube. But I do recommend live storage auctions. I think it's better to be able to, like, physically be there, because you kind of get a gut instinct if you want it or not. Where online, you get people that kind of constantly go on there and then they think about it all week, and I feel like the prices are higher. That's just my opinion, but I think that you guys, you know, if I can do only storage units and sell hard goods, I would definitely do that. But I've got so many great like outlets for clothes, and space is a little bit tough, but that's really exciting stuff. So I've got a question for you, and I ask this every single time. There's always like an aha moment when you're on eBay, and you kind of discussed a little bit, but how did you even learn like eBay was out there to sell? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
eBay, obviously I knew there were sellers. I bought stuff when my son was small. He had a Buzz Lightyear bathroom, and he had Buzz Lightyear pajamas, and he had Buzz Lightyear everything. So I knew about it then and only purchased. And that was back when it was still really auctions. It wasn't the buy it nows, and it wasn't, PayPal was there, but it wasn't like it was not quite far back in the day where you had to mail checks, but it was close. So, I knew it was out there. Never would have considered selling at that point. I just bought some stuff and said, okay, until it came time. And I wish I had been doing his cleats from the beginning. But once I was really paying well over $100 a pair and his foot just kept growing, I said, I've got to recoup some money here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Because I sell massive cleats all the time. Like I sold a size 20 the other day. It was it was like holding a baby, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people don't realize, like, they don't remember, like, and I don't remember. You do though, where if you sold on eBay, they send you checks. You know, completely different scenario than it was today.
Right.
Can you imagine, like, you thrift a bunch of items and they give you a check and you go cash it?
Yeah. They would, it's kind of freakish, but I kind of wish I had realized it back then. And then kind of been at it at the beginning almost, and see the changes. I listen to other, YouTubers who definitely have been selling for a long time, and listen to how much has changed. Obviously, as everyone's kind of freaking out over the spring changes with eBay, it's going to happen. I mean, it's a company, it's a growing company. And guess what? They got to compete with Amazon. So you kind of have to roll with the punches and decide is something you're going to do, you're going to try it, you're not going to try it, and how it's going to work for your particular business. Everybody's is different. There's not one person I have watched, and there's none of us the same, which is great.
I've got a few tips for that, guys, that I haven't heard on other channels yet. So hopefully it helps you. As Gina was saying, there is some changes, and those changes are basically, and I haven't gone in depth yet. I'm still looking at it, but basically to keep top rated status, and I'm sure you guys have heard, you have to offer free returns. And I actually offered free returns, like, had been 4 months ago, to try it out. My return rate right now is less than 1%. I have a really great return rate. And as you guys know, if you Google return rates, or average return rates for online, it's pretty high. I thought it was like in the 25 to 30 percentile for returns. And I'm just talking overall, Amazon, eBay, all the ways you can buy online. So yes, they are going to where you need to keep free returns. I'm definitely moving to free returns. Like, I have no problem doing that. And the fact that you can offer, partial refunds, although I don't find that necessarily, that I'll be doing that a ton, that's awesome. But tips, guys, and this happens now, when a buyer buys something and they want to return it, I would say a good 40% of the time they do not return the item within the time frame that they need to return it, because they have a time frame they have to return it. So I would say a good 40% of my returns, they don't return it within that time frame, meaning they don't ship the item back and upload the tracking, whether it's my fault or their fault. So what I do is I call eBay and have them cancel that return. And then it's done for, because they just didn't return it within the time frame, because there is such thing as you need to get the item back so you can recoup your money, right? So I don't think a lot of people do that. Like, go into your open returns. It will tell you the date that they had to return the item by. And if they don't return it within that item, maybe set a calendar reminder or something that you need to call eBay and have that removed. And make sure when you call eBay, they do it in your favor so it doesn't count towards your own metrics.
Right. And see, that's great. I mean, I think people fear the return. I have now gotten a lovely new tags purse back for the second time. And guess what? I'll just resell it again and hope this time it works for somebody. I don't see, everybody kind of freaks out about that. Why? Just get it back and resell it. And trust me, chances are you're going to resell it for higher than what you listed for the first time.
Remember, I can tell you many things. One being that with change, there's always opportunity. So you can change your mindset. Two, everybody that's in this chat, Gina, myself, we're all in the same boat. So we've got to abide by these new rules. And like I said, I think a lot of people are going to drop their top rated status, which I think if you do offer free returns, it's going to help you in the long run. So that's exciting. And what do you plan on doing, by the way? Are you just going to adopt it?
Well, yes, I think I worked very hard to get, my status, gosh, over a year ago. I'm not willing to lose it. I mean, to me, take the return. I don't see where all of a sudden there's going to be an influx of more. I don't see it. I'm going to try. I mean, if for some crazy reason, all of a sudden now, gosh, 50% of the items I'm sending out come back, well, yes. But if it's the same amount or less, I'm fine. And just like you said, a lot of times people do forget. They say, yes, I want to send it back. And you say yes, and go through the process and you look and you go, well, they haven't sent it back and they haven't sent it back and they haven't sent it back. Are you going to send back this item? At that point, and I have been in, the only thing I'm still want to learn about before this, really takes effect for an eBay changes it, is the fact that I have said a couple times, keep it. Just keep it. Don't send it back. I'm willing to give you the refund. No problem. Have at it. You donate it. Just, if it didn't work, you donate it. There's sometimes I just don't want it back. It wasn't a high profit item and I just don't want it back.
I agree. Partial refunds or just, sometimes it's not worth the time. Just list a few more items per week that you normally wouldn't. And that right there should take a good, account of you losing a little bit of money on shipping, doing free returns. So
yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
Nope. Track it so you kind of know what your return rate is, but that's really cool. So tell me, I'm curious, what type of platforms are you selling on? Tell the audience here. Okay,
so right now it's eBay. Yes, I'm on Posh, and no, I haven't cross-posted. I'm the bad girl. I probably will try it. I know you said, I hear you. It's easy. It's easy. I got that. I got you and Chris all the time. Easy. Got that. So yes, I need to try. It's just it's not the fact of posting. It's the fact of sharing your closet 4 times a day. Well, I don't have 4 times. So I'm going to try to at least do it once or twice a day. I'm looking into Etsy. I do have some vintage items that I think might do better on Etsy. I have, Amazon merch applied for. So, I will try that, but I'm also considering printables. So I'm not quite sure where that's going to end up for that platform. But for right now, eBay, hopefully Posh, because I am on Posh. So I just have to, to cross post, and then looking at Etsy. I'm not sure about Mercari yet. Dbot came up. I put that on my phone. I'm just not positive about those yet.
Yeah, I think everybody should go on Amazon merch, guys. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see the links, and I don't get paid a penny for putting those half of those links up. Some of them I do, but the bottom half I don't. And the reason I put them there is I want people to sign up because there is a waiting list. And Amazon merch, they're doing shirts now and some other stuff, but soon they're going to be doing a lot more merchandise, and they'll be opening up past the U.S. It's a great opportunity, and get on the waiting list to get approved for that. That would be it's just a great opportunity. And I'm getting some college students to design my stuff. Have you thought about designing your own? Or
well, no. After you said about the college students, there are 6 colleges in our little area here, so I kind of like that idea. I'm thinking, you throw an ad out on Craigslist, see what I get.
Yes. And they're going to line up for you. You just got to be careful of copywriting, but I think that would be amazing. So quick question here, and I ask this for everybody. What's your 2018 reselling goals? Like the remainder of this year, what are you looking to do to propel you?
Obviously, I'm looking to grow more than I did last year. I'd like to double my numbers, and maybe, go further than that, so that once I'm ready to ever do this full time, it'll be easier. I don't know if that's the right word, but easier. I think it's attainable. And and I'm excited. I enjoy it. I am at work where I can be miserable and hear the cha-ching and go, ha, I made some real money. I mean, and that's what it is. To me, eBay's the real money. My job seems to be the fake money that only pays the bills. But I get excited. Anywhere I go, guess what? All day long, every one of my residents knows I sell on eBay. And I'm willing. I'm like, you want to give me stuff? I'll sell it for you. I'll just take my cut. You get your money. We're all good. I've done that with my plumber. I've sold a bunch of new commercial faucets. Those were strange. So I've tried all kinds of stuff. And, to me, it's so much better. It's real money to me when I hear the cha-ching all day long.
I know that's one of those things that you never, like, I can hear it go off constantly. I thought about setting it as like my alarm, but I didn't want to freak myself out.
Yeah.
The funny thing with you, not the funny thing, but the amazing thing with you, or the great thing with you, is the fact that every time I post something, you're always super positive. And I think that's really cool. You got to stay positive. And to your point, like, you want to get as many listings up as possible. You want to get, if you're doing YouTube, your YouTube up and running. If you're doing a website, your website up and running. Like, all this stuff, get it done now. So that way, when you do go full time, you can just transfer into it and be up and running. So
definitely.
So,
I love you guys. Truly, the ones that I truly watch. Everyone does it different, from the bin pickers to you. The bin pickers are not at Ross, okay? And you're at Ross all the time. I wish I had that many. We have 2 in Greensboro. And I did stop by today just to see. I was curious at the hard goods. Nothing was marked. But I was just kind of curious to see. And I had never really paid attention to flip over the bottom of a shoe and see that price. And today I did. I said, I'm going to look at ours. And yes, it was there, that price that they want for it. Mm-hmm. So yes, I will be checking back at Ross, but I just love the fact that everybody's different. And if I'm not positive back to you, then you're not going to be positive back to me. You're just going to go, well, I can be positive with everybody else, and I've got to do my thing, and I want to grow what I'm doing. So I don't see why there should be any negativity. Yes, there's trolls, and I understand that, but they just need to go away. They just need to go.
I would say everybody in the chat would agree. You have, so far out of all my interviews, and I've done 6, you have the most amazing accent. I figured I love the Southern stuff.
Well, thank y'all very much.
So tell me this, and I think this is a really powerful question that I ask. Like, how has reselling changed your life or your family's life? And a segue to that is, have you told other people that you resell, and have you tried to help other people on eBay and other platforms?
Okay, so yes, I would definitely say eBay has changed my life, as in it's great to have that wonderful PayPal debit card, which guess what my son ends up with. He obviously is 17, and guess what every 17-year-old boy wants? A vehicle, and wants, now that he has those 35-inch tires on there and the rims. So yes, it was nice that eBay helped him with that. I always say mom, and he knows it was eBay. So when it comes to helping other people, everybody knows, trust me, everybody I come in contact with, I have no problems going, I sell on eBay, and I love it. I love every moment of it. Helping people. Yes. My friend, I would say in Virginia Beach, hopefully she's watching. I've tried to get her to put some more items on there and try to, tell her how wonderful it is. And she's like, yeah, I'm trying to get some more. And she has a daughter who goes through clothes too. And I think it's great to be able to help people. Have a helping value locally? No, I try. I'm at the post office every day, and I have my eBay poly mailers, and I obviously have my free USPS supplies, and everybody goes, oh my God, I bring in this big tote, and they're like, oh my gosh. I said, y'all go ahead of me. It's going to be a while. And I'm lucky at a small post office, they scan every one of mine in. So this month, most of the time I'm at a 98, 99. I was at 100%. Obviously I thanked, the guy at the counter, and I certainly thanked my postmaster. I said, and I took a screenshot in the shoulder. I said, it's because of y'all that I have 100%. It starts here and then goes on.
You got to be nice to those post office people, those staff. I mean, I have really good shipping and upload it on time. I'm a little iffy, but my tracking's on point. And so I got to be nice to them. And every time I go, there was like, hey, do you want another totes? You know, because everybody knows, I don't think I have one here, but you get those USPS totes and they'll give them to you free, or at least mine does. And she's always offering to give me a few more of those. And believe me, those help.
Well, I kind of like my duffel bag. I have a huge duffel bag that's almost like the IKEA bags, but it's huge. And then I can just fill that sucker up, and I kind of look like Mrs. Claus, I guess, going, I don't know. People can't figure this out. They're looking at me and thinking I'm crazy. And then I was in there probably about a year ago, and this girl was in there with a bunch of packages, and I go, you sell on eBay? And she goes, no, LuLaRoe. I said, oh. Well, she had as many as I did, and that's when LuLaRoe was a little more popular. So
that's funny, because the I always get people that stare at me when I go in there with my packages, and I think they're staring, one, because I have a lot of packages, but two, because I sell on eBay. And I think a lot of people, they just don't know eBay still exists. Like they've seen those movies back in the day with eBay in it, and I find that a lot of people are like, eBay still around? You know what I mean? It's just weird.
And they always ask, what do you sell? And I said, anything that makes money. But I said right now it's 85% clothing. But hey, if it's anything that make money, obviously as your first guest, yes, I do sell empty toilet paper and paper towel rolls. Yes. I mean, I sell box tops. It does not, people look at me like I'm crazy. I said, well, the schools love them. So I said, a parent wants them and wants their kid to win a prize in that class, you sell box tops.
Guys, this is why I do these interviews. And I will continue to do these interviews for the next few months or beyond. You're finding and you're listening to people that are your peers that sell on this platform and other platforms that have never been on YouTube that much, or, not big on social media. And it's so fantastic to get friends that I've seen comment on my post, like my posts, really supportive people on this channel. It is really cool. And I'm blessed to have you on this channel.
Well, thank you.
But so let's go on to my next question. I asked this for everybody. What resellers, so what was the first few resellers that you've seen on YouTube or that you started watching, and who are your favorites?
Oh gosh, the list is too long for my favorites. But I would say definitely at the beginning when I was just going, what the heck is YouTube really? And I'm like, well, I kind of want to look up resellers. Obviously, for the person back then who was out there with a lot of content and still is Steve Rakin. I mean, he definitely puts out videos every day, and Instagram. I mean, he's very, very big into social media. So obviously I saw him first. And then from there, it just kind of went on. I mean, I followed Chris from the beginning. I kind of followed you from the beginning. I certainly found all kinds of people. I love the bin pickers because of the fact that they are debt-free from picking at the bins. I'm like, it's crazy. So, I mean, I certainly love Rally Roots, and obviously in North Carolina, it's Prof Sales and Luke with Endless Entrepreneurs. So, I mean, I try to do the local. I try to watch all of you guys. Most of you guys, unfortunately, are on the West Coast, so it is difficult sometimes to stay up that late when you guys get on, because for y'all, it's early. So I just try to watch everybody I can. Craigslist Hunter. I mean, I think he, I don't know, dumpster diving. Gotta love those. I just think he's crazy, but he does it. So I just love it all. I love everybody that I have watched. There's not one person that I have picked to watch that I do not like what they're saying, what their content is.
There's so many awesome. There's so many awesome resellers. Oh, sorry about that. Is that me?
Maybe.
Oh. Okay. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So there's so many awesome resellers, and I think one of them. So to answer your question, you said Pete, and Pete is amazing. I actually talked to him on the phone. I called his shop, and he answered, and then I started talking to him. And Pete was the exact same person on the phone as he is in videos. And I think it's really cool. And the reason I asked that question is I want to know, the people you follow, because there's so many awesome resellers out there, and I'm trying to uncover more of them. I think Luke is amazing. Prof Cells is really cool. They got a new warehouse now. They're amazing. So really exciting stuff. So I wanted to, this is one of the questions I ask, and I think that this can be open-ended, but any tips or hacks that you want to give people, and this could be both for like reselling related, or it could be things that you do to like prepare yourself to sell on eBay. It could be anything. So tips or hacks.
Okay. Well, last night it was all about the square photo, which, yes. So I'm going to kind of help with the square photo, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Casey with Rockstar Flipper. I can't remember how many months ago I heard it, to be honest. All of a sudden, he was talking about the square too. And next thing he said was, change your color to vivid. And I'm like, what is this? I have an iPhone. I've had an iPhone for all these years. What is this? And all he did was point to the three little circles, hit that, and go to vivid. Boy, that changed my pictures dramatically. I mean, I had the whites, but I couldn't, and I had the white background that he suggested. I went right to Office Depot. I bought that. I did all of that. And I kept going, what is still wrong with these pictures? And that's what it was. The vivid changes everything. And so far, it is the color of every shirt, pants, everything I've always done. It's the right color.
Casey is really knowledgeable. And I actually saw that video too. And I think it's really cool. And another thing too, guys, most of you guys already do it, but you go on your phone here, and at least for the iPhone, it's super easy. So what I used to do is I used to take all my photos in portraits, and then I started switching to square because both, I think it looks nicer. It fits the whole box in eBay. And then also it's easy to cross list on Posh because it's the same size. So you just basically go on your phone and you click square, and then it'll automatically do that. And then you can take your photos in square mode. And I think it just makes your photos look really nice because it takes the whole thing.
Yes. I mean, the square and then adding the vivid changed. I mean, I'd been doing square. I remember hearing that a long time ago, but still changing the color was dramatic to me. I'm thinking, well, how did I not know this? I've had this iPhone for years. I mean, I get the new iPhone every time it comes around, and I just never realized that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's that time. We love this time. Everybody knows that I ask questions and then we go into the haul. So show us a few items, 4 items or more, doesn't matter. I'm curious to see what you got.
Okay. Okay, so I was at the Goodwill, and I always go over and just, I don't know, I'm looking for crazy stuff. Over in the hard goods, I'm always looking for the ink. I am always looking for ink and remotes. But I just happened to see Kenny here. Does everybody does everybody remember Kenny? Well, Kenny had new with tags, and he was kind of way back in the back, and I said, well, plush. I don't do a lot of plush, but I'm like, let's look him up. And yes, he does resell pretty good. So we went ahead and picked Kenny up.
That is amazing.
Yeah, well, you got especially new attacks. Now, if he hadn't been new attacks, I'm not sure I would have picked Kenny up.
I would have picked Kenny up.
You still would have picked Kenny up? Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to go with Southport. Okay, so the next thing is I'm, really venturing into the shoes, not quite the Ross thing yet, but venturing into the shoes. So again, I guess is what we want to call my honey hole, where it's, they have the dollar days at the thrift. I'm trying to do men's shoes. So this would be, these are the Johnston Murphy. So I'm going to try to, I know it's real hard to tell in here. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. But I want y'all to see that, needless to say, there's no problems here. There are no marks I have to clean off, which is the best. So these are ready to go. These are in great shape, and they were $1. So to me, if they're only $20, $25, that's great. They were only $1, and I don't have to clean them. I just have to wipe them. That's it. So I love that.
Do you watch The Soul Advisor by chance?
Yes, I like it. Listen, oh my gosh, he's amazing. Oh, it's just, wow. I'm impressed. He'll put stuff on Instagram. Now, granted, he's in Dallas. I get that. If I could find any of those cowboy boots that he gets, I'm amazed. I have gone, like he has, I have gone to Player's Closet. I have gone to Uptown Cheapskate. They don't have them here. Not like he get. They're just, people aren't donating them. I just don't think people wear them. I don't see that many people wearing those type boots. But he's amazing with the cleaning techniques. I love him. Love him to death.
He's super humble. I really like watching him. And I think too, like he's he does the most amazing shoe photos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this one's going to be a little harder to see because I can't pull up the whole thing. But was at the Goodwill bins. This was sitting on top. It is. I don't know if I can do justice here. This is a vintage beaded, fully beaded, very long, and it keeps going dress. And it has new with tags. And someone did throw this back. The girl told me someone threw it back because it weighed too much. It would have been too expensive. I'm like, at $1.19 a pound? Really? Seriously? So I do have this one. I've had this one listed. I am asking quite a bit because I think this is an awesome cruise dress. And this will be, and it's a 1X, but it's that vintage 1X, so it's not the big size. So all my measurements are there, and someone eventually will pick it up. This has to be the right buyer. This is not my fast nickel. This is my slow dime. So
you got to have those. Stuff. That thing is, I would have, first of all, it's vintage and it has tags.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and this is what's crazy to me is that at this point in time with it, you know, the shell being it's 100% silk, but the 1X, and then, like I said, the whole tag here, that's kind of crazy to me. And then the last item I have, which my son did not want. I know he tried. It was a little too long in the sleeves for him, but is the leather jacket that is, I don't know if y'all can see this, is a Roundtree York. So it's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. And it was $1, so you can't complain for $1, but it's a brown, fully leather jacket, kind of almost like a bomber jacket. So, so we'll see. I'm going to I haven't put that up. I'm going to put it on his account probably. So let him have the money. He didn't want it, but I'll let him have the money.
So I'm curious. So you have your account and then he has his own account?
Right. And I do, you know, I post for him. He doesn't do the sourcing part. So if I see stuff, he only wants to deal in men's stuff. He will not put women's items on his. Now mine is obviously, I'm very diverse. I don't care. But for him, I have to find the right thing. I think this week he sold a Nike sweatshirt. So there's not that many items. We're not, now that eBay is going to do that lower store, beyond lower than the basic one, maybe I'll get him to sign up for that. So that way I definitely have, what is it now? 100, I think it's what, I don't know. I can't remember what they said, but he'll have some definite fixed listings versus having to get, you know, when eBay sends you at the very beginning, they send you the message, oh, now you can list 100 for the next week, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Real quick, Gina, let's go ahead and do you know any of these amazing people in chat, by the way, that we want to shout out?
I can't see the chat, so sure. I know them all. Yay!
Okay. Hi, I know you know Key Lime Kisses, so yes, I want to say hello.
Hi to all my Ginas. Okay.
and Stephanie's in chat. I know this big Thrift is in chat, and he basically said, "Hello from Alaska, misses you, Wade." And my math is right. Baby number 2 is made in Alaska, and I think you're correct. Really good on the math.
Wow.
Yes. And Gina, have you ever been on a cruise ship before?
No, not yet.
Are you afraid of?
No, oh gosh, no, I'm not afraid. Oh Lord, help me. No. I would like to go tropical, so that's probably gonna be the Caribbean versus going on the Alaskan cruise. You know, maybe that's something for, you know, his graduation. Haven't decided. Hawaii's still in there for me, but we'll see. It could be a cruise or it'll be Hawaii. So when he graduates, it'll get a nice trip.
I know this is not reseller related, but it kind of is. Okay. And so what people don't realize with cruise ships is what we do is you can book 2 years, sometimes 3 years in advance for a cruise ship. For example, we're on Princess Cruise, right? We use them a lot. Mm-hmm. So what you can do for cruise ships is you can call them up, book your room, and a lot of times they do nothing down, and they don't run your credits. You just pay, and you can pay whatever you want, whether it's $1 or $5 or $20 or $100 per month. And then up until the cruise date, up until 45 days before the cruise date, you have to have the whole room paid for. But the idea here is they don't run your credit. It doesn't go on your credit. They don't run anything. They just book your room, and then you can pay increments up until the cruise date to kind of help you with that, because they are kind of expensive, some of them. And so that's what a lot of people can do. That's what we do. So book it and then just pay $20 a month, which is, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That really is. I mean, you know, it's nice. I mean, like I said, I don't know yet. I really want to go to Hawaii. Yeah. So I don't know. Hawaii or a cruise for his graduation. Not sure yet. We'll see.
Do Hawaii. That would be amazing.
And then, I don't know if I'm going to go to eBay Open this year yet. I didn't go last year, but if I don't go this year, then it'll definitely be the following year because he'll already be a nice high school graduate. So then it won't matter.
Did anybody tell you you're such an amazing mom?
Well, thank you. Yay. He doesn't think so. He thinks I'm a crazy eBay mom. He already says that when he one day gets married and has kids, it's going to be crazy eBay grandma. That's what it will be. So, yes, as long as I don't become a hoarder, he said. I can't be a hoarder.
So tell me a little bit about how do you store your items? Like
I've changed it, Wade, so many times. Oh my gosh, I still know. I have started with bins. Now I'm hanging up all of the shirts, sweaters, jackets are in a closet. I probably will eventually go back to bins. Not really into the garage storage thing yet. We have other stuff in our garage, so we'll see. I've changed it I go in and change my whole system about every 3 months. I can't help it. It's because I'm trying to find a better, easier way. Right now, hanging up, I can go right to it. In the bins, because of I have the bigger bins, not the plastic ones you have. So the bigger ones, even if you have them in the bags, they're not staying straight. And that was my problem, is I was having a hard time. They were falling, and then I'm like, okay, well, number one's now at the bottom. Yeah. So I've changed it a couple times.
A real quick question. I know this is not reseller related, but what's your what kind of food can you cook? Because I know Southern food and the Midwest and stuff. You guys cook some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. I'm not the ultimate cook. I mean, I do cook because it's a necessity. We obviously we like to grill out. I'm more of the awful pasta eater. So that's probably what I cook more of, is the pasta dishes. So not quite your traditional Southern black eyed peas and collard greens. Sorry.
Black eyed peas.
Yeah, I mean, black eyed peas, cornbread, and collard greens. Yeah, I can do, but yeah, it's not going to be but once a year. So sorry.
Yep. So are you said you have a garage and you are wanting to go full time. I'm curious because, the garage has helped me out a lot. It bumped up my items from, like, let's say 3,000 to 7,000 that I can fit in here. I mean, you guys can see this is just one row, but it goes all the way back and forth. I think I have maybe 170 bins in here, right? So do you think that's the approach you want to take to go full time?
It's either going to be the garage or we have a pretty decent sized shed in the backyard. So it could be the shed. I'm not quite sure yet. So far, the shed is, has air conditioning and we have a heater out there. So it's either going to be the shed or take over half the garage. I think I can legitimately get half of it.
I always warn people, like, it depends on where they live, but you got to watch the humidity. And if you go to I do have a link tree. It is affiliate, but I found this little good one that you can put. It's a little round humidifier, humidity. And it also does other stuff. It kind of shows you, and I think it's $11. So if you guys are in an area that you possibly need to look at, make sure that you monitor that. It's a good one. So real quick, we've got some comments in chat I want to read real quick, Gina. It's pretty hilarious. So everybody's saying Hawaii is awesome. We have Gina is absolutely a super amazing mom. Yes, you are. And then we have, Mr. Pac-Man Gina, I want to come over for dinner.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I think life in his hands at that point. So. I don't know. I feed the teenager, but that's about it. So if not, I would just be eating cereal every night. Trust me.
It's so funny. Ashley, she loves cereal. I think if I wasn't with her and we didn't have the 2 babies, she would eat that.
Yeah, probably. So would my friend. That's all we would ever do is just cereal for dinner. We don't care. Women don't care as much. So.
Yep. Well, I think that it's really amazing to have you on this channel, because it kind of showcases the fact that you've got a full-time job. You want to go full-time eBay. I do think that you'll probably want to get the garage or the back shed up so you can fit a lot of items in there eventually. And I am curious to see if you ever buy a storage unit.
I will trust me, you'll definitely know. And maybe, by the time you're done with this series and you're bringing some of us back together as the Brady Bunch, maybe by then I'll have attempted one. At least I have helped to clean it out. I have a wonderful friend who moves for a living, and he will come help me clean it out. So that's the part I would need. Just like you and your mom, you kind of, it's great to do it by yourself, but you really need another person because you do have to do your piles just like you do. You've got to get the trash out and figure out what you're actually keeping.
Yep, a lot of people underestimate that. You've got to have the vehicle to move the stuff and the manpower to get it out. And it's storage units are fun because it's a little bit of treasure hunting. You can get a lot of product for very little, and there definitely is a lot of trash that you have to get out. And then you also do need to donate, which you can use most of that for tax write-offs. But
Right.
it's a fun time, and I'm really excited for you to go full time too. What do you think possibly would be like a time frame that you would be going full time?
Well, he graduates in a year, so that's 2019. So I'm kind of, like I said, the my world is FAFSA form. Get the FAFSA form filled out. Figure out what we're going to qualify, for, obviously, you get your grants, your scholarships, and then obviously financial aid, figure out where he's going to go. And at that point, then I can make a change. So I'm hanging tough until he's ready to graduate.
That's amazing. And then at that point, you can kind of figure out what you want to do.
Yeah. Doesn't even mean I have to stay here. Depends on where he goes.
It does. Now, real quick, guys, everybody that's in the chat right now, do you have any questions for Gina? I would love to hear it. We've got another 10 minutes I want to be on here, and I would love to get some questions from you guys and kind of also how the interviews are going. If you guys think we should add anything, that would be amazing. But let's get some questions going for Gina because she is going to be going full time, hopefully in a year, and I'm sure there's some out there. And Gina, real quick, I had a quick question too. For you, are you outside of eBay? Are you a thrifter? Like, do you coupon at all, or do you have any like hacks that you can do just to like overall, like couponing, or are you like really, cost effective outside of reselling too?
Oh yes, I definitely, and definitely cost effective. Definitely would like to coupon more. I'm not an extreme couponer. Sorry. That involves dumpster diving. Can't do that. But yes, I definitely. And I am the person that, wears my thrifted clothes every day. The only thing real on me is my shoes. The earrings come from thrift store. Everything comes from thrift stores. As well as if I bring it in my household and I look and say, are you going to wear it? If it is I said, then forget it. I'm selling it. And if you don't put it on your back, it's going to get sold. So I'm that way. That's going to be the thing. I think everybody should start in their home. I did, obviously, with cleats. Go around your home like, it's not crazy that you say it weighed. It's not crazy that 10K, Chris with 10K on the base says start with the stuff in your home. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, just build up. I mean, it doesn't take long to figure out what you want to do. Obviously I don't want to do all clothing, just like you don't. I mean, we all like the hard goods. We like to find the extra stuff, and that's what I plan on doing. But you just gotta, you gotta hustle. And then I literally ask everybody. I loved your tip last night. I appreciate that. I loved the tip with the dry cleaners. So I definitely have a lot of dry cleaners here. So I definitely will be searching them out to see, because that's a great thing. They don't have time. They don't have time to resell it, and they certainly don't even have hardly any time to go donate it.
Yep. So those of you who weren't, you guys should definitely go back to the past interviews that I've done, because we've done 6 of them in total, and get little nuggets. But I did do an interview yesterday and explain that one of the cool things that you guys can do to get inventory if you don't have a lot of capital is you can go to the different dry cleaners in your area. And this was a tip that was given to me. Can't remember who gave it to me a while ago, but what you could do basically is you go to the different dry cleaners, and a lot of these dry cleaners has dry cleaned really good clothing that people paid money to dry clean that they couldn't return to the owner, because there's a lot of clothes that people dry clean, but they don't ever go pick up their clothes. So what happens is they have to give these clothes somewhere, right? And a lot of times, if you guys go to the Goodwill bins, you'll notice dry clean clothes, and that could have been from a dry cleaner that just donated those clothes. So what you should do, if you want, is you can contact all the dry cleaners in your area and say, hey, I resell. I understand that you probably have a lot of clothes that people just never pick up that you have to give away or donate, and they just don't have the time. They're running a business. And those of you who don't know, dry cleaning is no joke. Like, it is a lot of work. So that being said, contact them and just say, hey, I will pick up those clothes for you. and make sure you're there on time and you pick them up, and you create a little schedule. But who knows, like, you could be getting suits. Like, one of my buddies does this, and he gets amazing stuff that's dry clean that still has the dry cleaner tag on it. So it's a good way to get inventory.
Right. I think it's great. I realized that, in our area, I mentioned before, we have Pluto's Closet, we have Uptown Cheapskate, and we have one called Style Encore. It's also a chain. I don't know if you have them at your part in Oregon. And that is obviously getting more of the, let's say, women from 25 to 55 kind of range. And they're on Instagram, and my gosh, if they don't post like every 5 minutes, and they are definitely doing flat lays on their nice looking hardwood floors. But I thought, well, just when I think there might not be something in my area, I look on there and then I go, well, someone wanted to go in there and get some money for it. So I'm kind of considering that being an avenue of maybe just like there, is Poshmark with a closet, buying people's closets. If it looks like it's going to work out for them and me too, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Just kind of buy out, some women's stuff.
Yep. And some more tips, guys. One is go to vistaprint.com, create your business cards. And what people don't realize is when you go to vistaprint.com, I do this every single time because I do actually postcards on all my items, but go to vistaprint.com, do some business cards, call customer service from vistaprint.com and say, hey, I want to sign up and get some cards going. And the reps will give you 40% off your first order. And then what you do is you can take those business cards, you can give them to your dry cleaners. And I do recommend you actually go physically to the dry cleaners and give them your business card and explain it. I think they'll do more for you if you're in person. And then also, what people don't realize is gyms like YMCA, all these gyms, people don't realize that I've got a buddy who goes to the gyms around here and gets all their stuff that's in Lost and Found, because at a certain point, they donate those items from Lost and Found. And you're talking gym stuff. You're talking like high-end, workout equipments like Nike and Adidas and all those. So it's not just dry cleaners. You can go to these different places that don't really care about clothing or anything that's left behind, give your card out. And then what happens is, as opposed to them physically taking those items and dropping them off, they'll call you and you can come and pick them up. It saves them time and money.
Right. That's a good tip. That's a great tip.
Yeah.
We obviously have the Y's here and the Gold's Gym and everywhere else. So yeah, that's a great tip.
Get free merchandise if you can.
Yeah. There we go. We always like
yes.
Free is better than $1. See, there we go. Free is great.
Yep. And a lot of times free merchandise, you can get some good stuff too,
Oh yeah. I've gotten free stuff at garage sales before. The red Disney TVs. I just happened to look down and I said, oh, what's that? And she goes, oh, remote. My son just wanted to play with the buttons. We never had the TV. And I'm like, okay. She goes, here you go, have it. I immediately came home, took a picture, listed $30. So, I mean, it worked great for me.
Mm-hmm. I got a question here from Pac-Man. He says, I missed the first part of how long you've been on eBay and what made you start. So can you quickly go over that, Gina? That would be amazing.
Sure. 2011 was the actual true start, and that was selling my son's cleats. He was in sports, has always been in sports, obviously has growth spurts like every boy. And I realized at that point, once I'm spending over $100 a pop on cleats, that mom here needed to recoup some money. So I started selling his cleats. And then from there, I just started selling stuff in the house. And his clothes, believe it or not, have always done great because he has the nice Vineyard Vine clothes and everything else. So his stuff has worked great. So that's how I started, just off his stuff.
I can tell you that. So I'm trying to think how I first started. The funny thing, I mean, I know how I first started, but I was trying to figure out how the first time I realized eBay was a thing, because I had no idea that eBay, there was a movie. Do you remember, have you seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yes.
Okay. Was it in that movie where he was dating somebody that sold on eBay, right?
Yes. Remember she had the eBay storefront. Remember, it was an actual store, and there were stores like that around where you would, you couldn't purchase. Remember, the guy wanted the shoes, and she's like, but you can't purchase them. You have to go on eBay. And he's like, but they're right here. And no, you can't do that. So yeah.
Yeah, that was so long ago. And I remember like watching that video, and that's always in the back of my head. And then I realized, you know, when I started eBay, like actually selling on eBay, because that's how I got my start. I was buying all these storage units, and I was like, where do I put all this stuff, right? And I didn't want constant people coming to the house. So then I was researching on YouTube, found resellers, and that's when I, kind of talked to Chris 10K on the bay on the phone for an hour, and we decided, it was a snowball effect. But it was funny because reselling, like when I heard about eBay, I was like, I just didn't like take in consideration that it was like still a big deal, right? Because I always saw that movie like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And and it was funny too, because was it yesterday or the day before, I actually heard a ad about eBay on the radio. And I've seen TV ones, but an ad on the radio was interesting.
Yeah, I haven't heard the radio one, but every time it comes on the TV, obviously I go eBay. I was kind of surprised that they almost didn't pay up to for the Super Bowl, to be honest, because I did not see one of theirs. And eventually they may for the big sporting events like the series or the Super Bowl. But they definitely are pretty much on every channel. And obviously it was nice to see eBay even when you're watching the Olympics that their commercials come on, because I don't think, like you said, people think eBay's out there. They just go, well, I don't know, I just buy stuff, or
they go on Amazon.
Just when people cringe when they sell something with someone with a 0 feedback. I'm like, oh, please. I'm like, someone's got to start somewhere. You can't assume they're all scammers. Let them buy it, let them pay for it, and go on.
Yep, I agree. And I think that you're going to find a lot more people with 0 feedback just because they're doing a lot more marketing now to eBay. And people are like realizing, because eBay, I think for the younger crowd, I mean, that's where their challenge is at, getting younger folks to shop on eBay. I think like the 20-year-olds and below that and a little bit above that are more Amazon focused. And now they're doing all these commercials. I think you're going to find a lot more 0 feedback people shopping on eBay. And as long as your titles are okay and your descriptions are okay, you shouldn't have any problem. Like I've got 100% feedback. There's a couple issues I had to call on, obviously, but at the end of the day, I just let them buy it. I don't have that setting where if they have 0, I don't.
Oh yeah, me neither. I think I started somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere. If they obviously want the item, sell it to them. I mean, it's. Like I said, what's the worst? They're going to return it. Wow. Then you sell it again. It's not, I think people freak out a lot about change when it comes to eBay. But they seem to accept Amazon, which has basically the same thing. Like Amazon had already given you free returns. Return it. I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
People need to kind of grow up and just go with the flow.
Crush it, people. That's what Gina's trying to say. Crush it.
Yes, hit the like button. It's right down below. It's right down there. It's right there. Hit the like button. This is the whole point. This is Wade's show. You got to support Wade.
It's really weird how that like button like works, because the way that it works, basically, from what I understand, is you click the like button, and then it supposedly helps you in the algorithm for people to find these shows. And for those of you who are watching this now that are thinking about starting YouTube channels, there's a few tips that I can give you. And one of them is, when you start your YouTube channel, you need to download what's called TubeBuddy. It's free. There is a paid version you can do, but you definitely need to download TubeBuddy. It's just an add-on to your Chrome, your Chrome web browser or whatever you're using. And that will give you a lot of analytics about your videos. It will teach you how to do stuff. It's like the #1, I think, for YouTube. It's free. And then also, guys, I try to keep I made a lot of mistakes with YouTube, and in my Instagram link, you can go down to a website. I forgot what's it called again. Darn it, I haven't used it in a while. But anyways, it's really affordable logos that you can do, and I want to try to do the same logo on all my social media. But I guess the point of the matter here is try to get on social media, try to get on YouTube, create these videos. Use your phone. You do a camera. You don't need to be an expert, and just put yourself out there. Because I feel like, for me, Gina, since I've been on YouTube, I'm a better reseller. I've learned a lot from you guys, and it holds me accountable. And I feel like I'm a better reseller overall from being on YouTube. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, I definitely can see growth from the first live on Instagram, and you're like, yeah. So I mean, definitely.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
and you kept saying, "Oh, this is bad," and this is bad. And I'm like, "No." And you did oh gosh, it was way back, the video series where you gave the tips. Remember that? Those little.
I've got to finish those, but I was so nervous in those videos. Like, you guys can watch them. I was like super nervous.
But you did great. I mean, that's the whole point. You did great. You're very charismatic, and that's what people want. People want to watch you, or even Chris, or I gotta love Lindy and her motivational Mondays. I mean, and definitely when we see your kids, that's kind of our generation. This 50-year-old crowd wants to see the kids. Hate to tell you that, but that's what we want to see. We want to see your children.
let me get Kate up down here.
Okay.
He sells a lot more tickets than I do. I love Lindy. Her Motivation Mondays. She's so fluent when she's on camera, and
yes. I mean, nothing bothers her. I have to admit, she's you guys have to have thick skins when you get the trolls, and I understand that. And the comments that people make back to y'all is crazy. But she definitely got thick skin. I have to admit that she's awesome.
Yep, she's got really thick skin, and I've talked to her on the phone, and the same thing. I keep saying this, but she's the same person on YouTube as she is on the phone, and she's really likable person. I love Lindy. And so we've got 2 more questions here. First of all, I want to say Navy Independence. Man, I go there all the time. That's awesome. Oregon. It's really cool. And then we've got one other question here that I missed. Gina, and then I'll be respectful of your time. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Where did this thing go? Let's see. I think I missed it here. Oh, here we go. So Key Lime Kisses asked if you have a YouTube channel.
No, not yet. But I still think the 3 Ginas would work. Since all 3 of us were there last night, why not? No, not yet. I mean, I just in my name just so that I can make comments. That's all for right now. We'll figure it out. But I still think the 3 Ginas, kind of like the 3 Amigos, it would work.
It was so funny because Ashley was she was in chat last video, and we were in the truck today, and she goes, there was 3 Ginas kind of hanging out in chat yesterday, and I thought that was really cool. So who's the 3 Ginas? I got you. I had another Gina, and then Key.
Yes, there is another Gina. She I know she we followed each other on Instagram last night after the show. Nice.
You Ginas need to stick together. If you want, I can do an all Gina show, and we can just do like Brady Bunch style.
There we go. If you can talk the other 2 ladies into it, sure. Tell them it's easy. This is not anything difficult. I mean, if I could go behind the mom and son duct tape, come on, anybody can do this. I was last night going, I have to go behind the kids selling the cool duct tape. I mean, so yes, if I can do that, anybody can do this.
He is such a smart kid, and the mom is so supportive. It's amazing. And when I saw that background, I was extremely jealous. I mean, I kind of look cool with these bins back here, but man, that was awesome. Yes. Well, give everybody a snapshot of where they can find you guys. I will do an Instagram post after this. I will link Gina in it. That way you guys can add her to Instagram. She's super supportive, amazing person. We're definitely going to do a follow-up. That's my game plan, is we're going to do a lot of these interviews, and then I'm going to invite the week, since I do Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'm going to invite that week on a call. So that way we can actually, Gina, 1 second. We'll
oh, look at him.
Since you said you wanted the baby.
Hi, Kate. Hi.
Did
you have a bath already?
Yeah. Oh, did he
he's so cute.
He is. I didn't think he would have red hair, but he has red hair.
See, that's cool. You don't know about the other one yet. Just wait.
No, Ashley promised me that I can name the second one.
Did she? Oh, okay, Ashley.
She said no.
I was going to say, I've already told my son that he doesn't get a say so at all when he gets married one day. His wife decides. Hate to tell him. Yep.
All right, go back to mommy. I got to finish this up.
Bye, Ashley. Bye.
Having kids changes your life.
Yes, it does. And boys are so much easier. Sorry if everybody has girls. Sorry, boys are easy. This is so easy. Trust me. All you got to worry about is them eating and a vehicle. That's it.
and big rims. Or was it tires? I can't remember.
We got 35s on that Tahoe. 35s. Nice rims too. Trust me. But those 35s, they look great. They look
It was eBay that paid for those rims. So that's what's so awesome.
Yes, yes. Wasn't mom, all eBay. So I thank everybody who purchased stuff for me this past year.
You guys, this is amazing. I look forward. The funny thing is Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I literally look forward to doing these interviews. Like, it is super fun for me. And what people don't realize is when I send you the link, like, we don't rehearse at all. It's just raw.
Right. Go forward, everybody. Everybody needs to contact Wade and send him a DM. He's very wonderful. He'll send right back to you.
Yep. I still see you. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Next week, Monday, we'll have an amazing guest. Gina, you are amazing. Any last words for us?
No, I just want everybody to go out there and kill it, just like I do. S is different. Treat it as your own. And definitely support Wade's Ventures. Hit the like button. Watch all the shows. Get to know other people. This has been awesome. I want to fly to your part of the country and gosh, meet Noelle Farm Girl. My gosh. So yes, just follow everybody. It's great.
And please subscribe.
Yes.
Love you guys. And I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys. Bye, y'all.